Synergy JT front and rear shock relocation brackets. Park the vehicle on a flat and level surface or safely raise it on a vehicle lift. Again, you don't have to remove the tires, but it makes it a lot easier. So start by removing the tires. Starting with the front shock relocation brackets, loosen and remove the lower shock mounting bolts on each side and pull the shocks out of the way. Install the new lower front shock relocation bracket. Install the 1/2-inch bolt and washer with the spacer and loosely install the washer and nut on the other side. Install the 5/16 bolt and washer from the bottom. Install the washer and nut from the top. Tighten the 5/16 bolt to line everything up. Install the lower shock eyelet and use the factory bolt in the location for the lower shock eyelet. Torque the 5/16 hardware to 20 foot-pounds, the 1/2-inch hardware to 35 foot-pounds, and the 12mm hardware to 74 foot-pounds. On certain Mojave Jeeps, the lower shock bolt is a 14mm. These shock relocation brackets are designed for a 12mm bolt. There are two options you can use. The first one is shown here. Simply drill out the 12mm hole to 9/16 or 14mm. We recommend painting the drilled hole with our Synergy brand paint. The second option is to use a 12mm bolt the same length as the 14mm bolt. This option has a risk of the shock bouncing a little bit. You'll have to torque this down significantly to keep that from happening. Moving on to the rear. Removing the rear tires isn't necessary, but we recommend removing them in order to make the job easier. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and remove the rear tires now. Unbolt the lower shock eyelet and pull the shock out of the way. Install the relocation bracket and line up the holes for the new relocation bracket to the existing shock bracket. Use a punch and mark a hole that lines up with the shock relocation bracket. This should be about 1 inch from the bottom of the existing bracket. Remove the bracket and drill a 5/16 hole where you marked. Reinstall the bracket and loosely install the 5/16 washers and nut to hold the bracket in place. Install the M14 bolt, washers, spacer, and nut. Install the lower shock eyelet. Use the factory bolt and nut to secure it. Torque the 5/16 bolts to 20 foot-pounds and then torque the relocation bolt and the lower shock eyelet bolt to 89 foot-pounds. If you decided to remove the wheels and tires, reinstall the wheels and tires, torque the lug nuts, and put the vehicle back on the ground. Installation is complete. For more information on this product and other great products, go to synergymfg.com.